Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning into your love read. Using different decks at the moment. For the main read, I'm using the Energy Oracle cards by what's her name? Sandra Ann Taylor. And for the supportive cards, I'm using the Angel Answers cards by Doreen Virtue and Redley Valentine, I believe. It's on the side here too. Yep. Okay. First half is for relationship. Second half is for singles. I only pull out the oracle cards as needed for clarifiers. Let's see what we got here. This is your partner. Okay, now you. You know, I think we will do a couple clarifiers here. I'm looking at this and I'm noticing I don't know. Well, let's go a little farther because I'm seeing cards here that seem to mean one thing, but I have learned that as we go into a reading, the more that pops out, the more you learn about what they're actually trying to tell you. Alright, so what's going on right now seems to be the action. You're in the middle of doing something here. We got a black and a white horse, both very beautiful. But I feel like these are choices. And they're like left or right choices. Go one way or go the other way. I'm not really getting one is good or one is bad. I'm getting like, it's like night and day choices. Let's put it that way. I think that's why they're kind of like, they're completely, there's a big contrast between the two. But you'll notice both horses are very beautiful. So I think they're both very beautiful. This is on your side. You're the one with the choices. You're taking action and you're deciding which way to go in the situation. But I have to say it looks like it's stay or go are the choices, especially with what you have with your partner, which is the garden and the gate. Which usually the big question for that is, do you stay in the garden and enjoy what you already have? Or do you walk out the gate and see what else is out there? Not knowing if there's something better. And usually the person who gets this card is drawn towards the gate to go try something new, even though things are stable and safe where they are right now. Excuse me. Excuse me. Jeebers. I don't know why, but sometimes when I sit down to read, all these weird... It's like my body settles and says, ugh. Alright, going forward here. This is what's holding things back, it seems like. Financial security? Okay. What's holding your partner back is they feel financially secure where they are, and they're not sure if they want to jeopardize that. What's holding you back, Aries, is you seem to feel you're going with your heart and where your heart lies, and it feels like you're very established in this relationship. So I don't feel like this is a new. So one of two things. I know it's a general read, but still, it's either you've been in this relationship for a long time and you have a lot of emotional roots here. There's some type of history with this person, or maybe it's you haven't been in this relationship that long, but you're feeling very comfortable. And like this is something worth continuing. Like your heart has you wanting to keep it going. There's definitely qualities here that you want to keep. But still, it seems like you're both in this. Like I feel like you're the one that's going to take the action, but your partner's deciding are they going to stay or go, and you're waiting to see what they're going to choose. And if they choose that they want something else, you're out. You're just going to go. You're like, I'm not going to wait for you to figure it out. If you want something else, then fine, and I'm out. I am getting like I'm getting a lot of moving on cards on your partner's side. I feel like they're doubting themselves though. I feel like they're kind of trying to head out. They're kind of second guessing themselves. I hate to say it, but I'm feeling like the money seems to be the big thing. What they can afford to do. The next thing in their line of action is the sacral chakra. Not the sacral chakra, nope. The solar plexus? Yeah. The third eye chakra, no, it's the third chakra. I was going to say, that's not the third eye chakra. It's the solar plexus, the yellow one. I'll show you on the card where it is. That's holding true to what you truly want to do. That's going forth with what you want to do. And that's on their side. They're moving forward with what they really want to do. So I feel like they're taking steps to they're moving on. And you're like, fine. Like, the Sun card comes up on your side. I feel like you're like, well, you made the choice, so and then they make the choice and you're like, all right, fine. And it's weird because you have this take action, you'll be fine. On the outside, it seems happy-go-lucky. Happy-go-lucky in the sense of like you're not destroyed. You're like, all right, fine. You want to move on? Then let's move on. Let's go in different directions. And even though it gets to this part, I feel like the whole time here, this is weighing on your heart. You've got the fourth, the heart chakra. It's the heart chakra. I don't even want to get into the names there. The heart chakra with the broken heart and your spirituality. So I feel like this whole time, this is pulling on your heart. This is hurting you. But you seem to be on the outside, at least as far as your partner is concerned, you're handling it very well. You're like, you want to move on? Let's move on. And you're out. No hard feelings, it's fine, and you just go. That's how I feel it comes off, but on the inside, it is pulling on your heartstrings. Very much. Your partner through this whole time, though, seems to be in like this whirlwind of like where they should be, what they want, what they need to get. They seem to be going around in circles. They're all dizzy with it, is what I'm thinking. With the storm card here, excuse me. I feel like they're all turned around based on what they want, what they need to be secure. Like, I feel like they're going back and forth and they're like in a lot of their own turmoil. Like, I feel like they're destroying their own happiness in a way. Like, I feel like they're going in circles and they're destroying their own happiness is basically what I feel like they're doing. So far what we have is the choices going on here seem to be to stay or go. I feel you're the one taking action on the choice, but your partner's the one actually making that choice. In the sense of like they say that they want to move on, and you're like, all right then, and then you take steps to move forward. And I feel like you're sound, you're set, there's nothing wrong for you, you're good. And this, I do feel like this is another reason the Sun card is popping up here, I feel like this is a good thing for you. Because if you're not going to be loved totally, you need to find somebody who does. Although this is hard on you, I feel like you're also kind of looking at it that way at the same time. What I am noticing here, though, is even though your partner is like, they're on their way, they're taking the journey, they do reconsider after the fact. They are reconsidering, but I'm also getting the reason why they're reconsidering is because of financial constraints, and they want the financial security back. When these two cards come together right now for what I'm seeing here, how they directly relate to you is they're feeling like they're lacking. Like their life isn't as comfortable as they're used to it being. Or that they'd like it to be. And they're thinking if they go back, if they reconsider, they can have that money and that financial security back. Your heart is still in this. So I guess when you get to this part, it is a general read, but you have to make that decision. And I feel like you're going to have people around you like pointing out like, how well do you really get along? Like, what does this person really want from you? Like, I feel like they know that your feelings are genuine, but they're questioning the other person's. And they're like, you know what? Should you really go back into this? With the temple path, I feel like your friends are like almost like convening with you. And they're trying to help you realize like what's actually happening and what do you really want. A lot of times the temple path is like going into the next phase, at least the way I've read it. There's almost like going through the maze type feel. And it's like, especially with this temple, there's a lot of illumination coming through. Like I feel your friends are very much pointing out certain things to let you know how the other person, your partner, like what their intentions really are and how well you really match up. This seems to be like almost like the jury. It does. It feels like a jury situation to me. Like you're talking with your friends, you're talking with your partner who wants to come back after the fact. Like I feel like you've made the decision, you've moved on, but they're like, no, let's go back to the way it was. I was wrong. Blah blah blah. And I feel like it's quite obvious that they're having financial problems, and I feel like your friends are pointing that out on why this is really happening. And it's almost like a court case, like you're the judge and also the person who ends up with the verdict. You're deciding your own verdict in a sense, but your friends are like the jury, and your partner here is pleading their case, but the jury's like saying all the evidence that they've seen, and you're deciding what you need to do. The outcome, it's the door to romance, and that the situation will improve. The thing is, with the door to romance, this has always been a slippery card for me in the sense of like what it means per person. For this reading, I'm really feeling like you're at this point with this situation. And if you look at this card, hopefully I can get it close enough so you can see it. There's like a door, like it's literally the door to romance. But you'll notice inside that door, that heart is in a cage. And there's little pieces of hearts flying all over the place. Some of them look like butterflies to me, which signifies change to me. And you're standing here at this door where your heart is confined. And you're asking yourself, do you want to walk through the door and get back into the cage with that heart? Or do you want to shut this door and find a different heart? Because it's the door to romance, and you can close it if you wish. I feel like the way you're looking at the situation, your heart is definitely in it. But you're trying to see, like, is this really happening in a way that's going to help you? Like, did all this happen for a reason, and it's like your moment to walk away and find a better connection? Or is this just showing you where you are, and just, even though the other person seems to be staying with you due to financial reasons, are you going to go back to the heart and try to work on the relationship and see if you can bring more to it? Because I feel like, and I know it's true, in some situations people kind of ebb and flow. And right now you might be looking at it like, well, right now that's the reason this person's coming back to me. But maybe we can work on this relationship and we can make it stronger. So I feel like you're going back and forth. Because part of you is like, maybe this is just an opportunity. Sure, we're having a weak moment, but since they are coming back, maybe this is an opportunity to strengthen our relationship. But on the other hand, you're like, if it wasn't for the money, this wouldn't be happening right now. And do I really want somebody who's actually basing value for me on finances? I want somebody who loves me, who I can trust and count on to be there for me if things aren't well. What if the money's not there tomorrow? Then what? Do I really want somebody there who's just at the moment there for the money? And you're questioning this. So when the advice card, the situation will improve, if you stay, I feel like you're going to do a lot of things with your partner and you're going to try to build the bond back and you're going to see if the bond can really build back. I feel like if you go back to the heart, it's on a probationary period because I feel like you're very well aware of the money connection at this point, but you have to know where they really stand in the long run. Even though the money might be the momentary thing, can this relationship be repaired? Can it go back to the loving state that you feel it used to be in, or the way you feel at least? So if you do go back, it's probationary. I really feel that. And you're going to be watching closely to see how they really feel. A lot of you, though, I feel like you're going to see what it is, and you're going to be like, I'm going to have to shut this door. And I may not enjoy it for a while. It may be a little hard, but I know I'll get past it. And that's kind of the situation will improve. That's like if you choose to move on, you'll be fine. It'll take some time, but you will be fine. I think it's a very interesting combination of depending on what you choose, how it's going to work out. Because I have to say, when I'm feeling the probationary period, I'm kind of feeling like it's going to have still the same outcome where you're going to move on. But it's one of those things where you're going to feel like you gave it every chance possible. You did everything you could to try to work it out. And that makes you feel better, especially when you do move on, that you know what, it was done and it had to be what it had to be. So if you do decide that, some of you it will work out. I don't feel like very many, but some of you it will. But for those of you who it doesn't, I feel like it's just to have that closure, to know that you did everything you could to try to make it work out. Okay. So that's the relationship part. Let's get into the singles for Aries. How long have I gone? Oh, my relationship reads tend to be pretty long lately, which I'm not sure why, but they are. All right. Maybe because are we in Cancer? I think we're in Cancer. And I'm a Pisces, so it's probably drawing out the emotional side of that. It could be why. All right, Aries single Aries. Messages for single Aries. Empowering messages that help them move forward the way they want. All right. I don't really think we need those this time. Huh. Oddly enough, it feels very similar. You're in a good spot. The world for you, in this deck especially, this is someone looking at the world from another plane. This is somebody who feels very much in control and very elevated and very good about where they are in a spiritual sense. Like you're feeling like your viewpoint gives you a great advantage. Now, I swear this almost seems like it's connected to the last reading, which the first half was relationship, this half is single. But what I'm seeing here, we're starting out with some communication, and we got envy right here in the middle. So I feel like you're talking things out, but somebody is interested in the financial status of the situation. One person's interested in love, the other one's interested in finance when it comes to this pairing of you and someone else. And I know different cards did show up, but still, it feels a lot the same. I feel like whatever the situation is in the past here, whoever you're considering, this is affecting you for like, I feel like if this situation is coming to you and you're in a good financial position, this isn't the first time someone has been interested in you based on your pocketbook or your wallet or whatever you want to call it. Because I'm feeling like that's kind of how this is working. This is a repeat, however it's happening. I feel like it's a repeat because of the ages. Healer of the ages, like, I feel like you're reliving something to where you let somebody close to you and you knew their intentions in the beginning, but you thought it would develop to love. You thought it would go from where it was now, about the money, and it would grow into love. You felt that was probably how it would work out. It was fine how they felt right now because you felt as time went on it would change. I don't think that happened though. Because when that happened, it just, that didn't last. Clearly you're single again. I think that's the nip of it, the butt of it, whatever you want to call it. The gist, the nutshell, whatever. In the more recent past, you have been reviewing this. And you want somebody who loves you. You're looking for something different. And you've been going through and you've been trying to work it out with yourself. I feel like you've been looking at the situation and it looks kind of complex. Because I feel like you've been doing a lot of soul searching, trying to figure out why you let these things happen. Because that's how it feels to you. I feel like you're letting these things happen. You're like, why do I let these things happen to me? And you're trying to go through and like really get into the nuts and bolts of like how things keep happening like this. The temple usually is a moment of illumination in the way I've seen it. But it's through like going through a lot of trials and trying to really figure it out. And like it's taking a hard look at yourself. And like with all of us, like what part did you play in it? What part was added to the situation that you allowed? Like you've moved on from this last situation, but how did it happen to begin with? And I feel like you've been looking at situations like this and been kind of hard on yourself, but trying to like move forward. Trying to find a way to move past these things because you don't want them to happen again. Now, when that's going on, this person comes towards you, and I'm getting, it's weird because when the garden and the gate comes up again for the singles, this is in the environment. This is also before. In the last section, it was also in the other person's court, but that's neither here nor there. But there's this energy around you. I feel like it's coming around Aries very strongly where they're teetering like, do I want to get involved? I'm kind of getting the opposite side of the fence on this though. I feel like, are they going to step into the garden or not? They're saying all these beautiful things in your life and they want to be a part of that, but they're questioning like, do they or do they not want to be a part of that? But you can tell what they're interested in. I feel like you know it through conversation and knowing what they're interested in, what they talk about. They don't seem to be interested in you as a person. They seem to be interested about what you have financially. I feel like it's like your status. For some of you, it's not like financial status. It's somehow like a political or social status that you have that they're interested in, and you can see that. I'm kind of getting that the more you see this, the less you like it. And it's reminding you of a situation from the past. Be it finances, social status, whatever it is, you're kind of looking at it like, I've done this. This does not get better. Somebody who starts in with that type of interest with me, that's all they want. And once that starts wavering, they're gone. Or they become very greedy with it and they try to get more. They don't care about me, but they care about what I can give them. And I don't want to be a part of that situation again. I don't want to be a part of that situation again. I don't want to do that again. Because I feel like when you went through this temple and you really looked at yourself deeply, you came to some conclusions about what you're not going to allow again. And the door to spirit, you're freeing yourself from this. Again, it's another one of those doors, but this one, the way this looks, like that bird is bursting through that door, and I almost feel like that's you, like, boom, I am out. Nope, out, boof, like you're kicking that door open and you're just jumping right out, like, woo, bye, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this again. And I feel like you had feelings for this person. There was an attraction. You had honest interest in them. So I feel like your heart was already going towards them. But once you really got the click in and you realized what they were about, out. Boom. Just jump right out the door. Almost like, I'm kind of getting this idea of, what do you call those people who go up in the planes and jump out of them? Skydivers. Boom, like you're out. And it's just like, I can't jump back in the plane now. Yeah, bye. There you go. And that's that. But I do want to acknowledge, though, that your heart, I got the broken heart for you too. In your thoughts, like I feel like this is more, I don't know if it's as much about the person as the situation, and it's kind of like you're feeling kind of beat down because you're like, why does that even have to be a factor? Why does my social status or my financial status even have to be a factor here? Like, why does that even have to matter? And I feel like that's kind of upsetting for you, because you're like, is that just really what people come for me to? Is that why they come towards me? Like, it's bothering you. Now, the broken heart with the door to spirit. Because you're out. You're not even giving it a no. Nope. I feel like once you know what's going on, you're done. Because you've done it before, you're not doing it again. So, of course, people will leave comments. If that doesn't hit for you, let me know exactly what you think that's going to, or what you've done, what happened, because I'm curious, because I'm getting this as like, nope. Done it once, not doing it again. Maybe more than once. But these two together, the broken heart with the door to spirit, you're taking this into the future with you, and you're trying to really evaluate, like, what do I need to do? How do I need to go forward with this? Like, I don't want this to be a factor anymore. So what do I need to do to find somebody where this isn't a factor? Like, how am I finding these people now where it is becoming a factor? Like, what do I need to do so it's not anymore? So, like, the door to spiritual overall energy, the broken heart is where your mind is, what your thoughts are about. And your future is strategy. You want to know what's it going to take to get this to stop, because you're sick of it. You're finished. I'm not going to go for this person. However you met this person and the one before that, I feel like it's the same arena. Like if it's a certain organization you're a part of, or if it's at work or some financial situation, however you're meeting this person and the person before, it feels like it's the same. And you're realizing you got to meet people in a different way. You want to meet people where finances aren't a thing. It doesn't matter. Like it's not even like what you make isn't apparent. What you have isn't apparent. I almost feel like the strategy card in the future is going in an interesting way, because I feel like if you have a very beautiful car or something like that, maybe you're going to downsize that car because you don't want people to know what you can afford. Maybe you're going to get a second car, and when you go to hang out with people or whatever, you're going to use that second car that doesn't look as flashy because you don't want people being impressed by your finances. You're taking action here because you want to make it very you want to make it very clear that you're the value and your possessions aren't. So you're taking away any indicator, like if it's a flashy car or a house, or maybe you have the way you dress is very, like, it's expensive, like, and you can tell. You're changing things so it's not as apparent about your financial status. If it's a social standing, you're moving into arenas, or you're going to find people or starting to talk with people who aren't involved or have any idea about that, or as far away from it as possible. Because you're looking at the situation, you're like, all right, this is what's got me there clearly more than once. I'm going to try these other avenues. This is what I'm going to do. And let me see who I can attract to me this way. You have some type of plan going on here. Which currently you're single, I get it. In this situation, you're going to stay single for a little while. But you're changing your plan. And I feel like if it's a financial thing, you're taking it out. You're taking whatever it is out of the equation. You just don't want that to be a part of it anymore. You're like, if it's not even known, like, I don't feel like you're going to be like deceptive. You're just going to not make it a part of the equation. How do I say this? Like downsizing the car, or like wearing clothes that are a little more modest maybe, or like if somebody starts asking you what you make, you'd be like, I'm pretty comfortable. And you're also going to be very careful, like if they start asking questions like that, it's probably going to be a quick end to that possibility. You're going to probably move right away from that. But you're going to, like, you don't want that to factor in anymore, and you're going to do everything you can to find another plan. And this brings you the Sun card, which is a great ending. When you remove these things from being factors, whatever it is that this, because it's more than once, this is at least the second time this has happened. When you remove those factors, somebody with honest interest, I feel like more than one somebody, quite frankly, comes towards you, and you find someone you're also attracted back to. You build from there, and when it's not about that, you get that honest connection. Now, I have a feeling, whether it be finances or social standing or whatever, there are things you love to do that are very much connected with that. You're just not going to add them in to the situation until you're sure the person you're starting to get to know is into you, loves you, wants to know you. The fact that you have these things, that's great, but it's not changing how they feel. It's not dictating how they feel. They're not putting forth this false front. And you see them for who they are. This is what brings you what you want. I feel like that's what this whole thing's about, you making this change and seeing what's going on. I'm feeling like if you're watching this reading and you're like, this person or this situation keeps happening, what am I going to do? That might be an idea. You know, tone it down. Take it out. Take whatever it is that you don't like that they're interested in, be it finances or whatever, take it right out of the equation and start meeting people who have no idea that that's a part of your life. Not to be deceptive, but just keep it off the table until you know they like you. And then add it in as necessary. Okay. So that, I feel, wraps up the Aries single, which, how long did I go? Yeah, it's about as long as I did for the Sagittarius. I'm very yappy. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.